Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We got to go. No, just
Oh my God, Jesus! You gonna turn into a pumpkin already?
well, in the shape of one. So
It's not much of a turn, is it?
if I sit outside for 45 minutes during the day, I'll look like one too.
Oh my God!
I'll start off looking like the fattest lobster you ever seen, and eventually I'll just turn orange.
Orange.
I'll trigger an old Democrat, but the orange man bad. I go, I don't have any hair. Leave me alone.
Damn it. Well, so actually, this we do the show and tell and everything. So this will go with the new video there for the game. I got this bad boy today.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it from my buddy. They have never even been opened.
Yep.
I hadn't even looked at them yet. I've been so tired. Oh, what's that? Dark Knight Returns Batman?
I don't know. It should tell you in the back. It kind of looks like it. Or like New 52.
No, New 52, I think, is down here. I think he's here.
Oh, yeah. Because he looks the same, but he's very skinny.
Or that one's New 52 Batman. One of them. But
it actually tells you on the back of the box.
I'll look. Okay, I'll look. I'll close it up. I'll look. But yeah, his kid had actually won them at one of the cosplay competition or something, and really was like, oh my God, I didn't want no Batman action figure, so he had been like thrown to the side, and he found it, and me and the kid talked and negotiated a price, and so here it is. Yeah, Dark Knight Batman based on his first appearance, Justice League Batman, and New 52 Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. They could have had a better, they could have done gold and silver, bronze and modern.
Yeah, well, I mean,
there's one that looks very different, and then all the rest kind of look the same.
So I also got these in the mail, which, dude, one of these I really want to do on the show, just because I've wanted to read it for so long and I've never read it, and I finally got a copy to read. Now, I could have read it online, but I didn't want to read it online. I wanted to sit down and smell the frickin'
pages,
newsprint, and the pages, and read it. So one of them is Spider-Woman, number 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a first appearance of some dude, but it goes in my Spider-Woman collection. The other one is X-Men 143, the Kitty Pryde solo versus the freaking aliens.
Versus the Brood.
Yes, dude, I've wanted to read this for so long. I don't know why. It's just, and I mean, it's one of the things I wanted a copy that was nice enough that I could put in my collection. Mm-hmm. And, it's Terry Austin, 1980, but yeah, just, I mean, Claremont and Austin. And then this is a new book. And the only reason I'm showing you, I don't, and all the people out there, all 2 of you who are watching probably, is pick this up. Son of Origins. I think I showed you the other one that
Yeah.
come out, like the Origins of Marvel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I actually reread tonight's book because this one just came out. It's $8 and it has all of those in it. So for $8, you get first appearance of Hulk, first appearance of Thor, first appearance of Iron Man, first appearance of Doctor Strange. I think there's another Doctor Strange story in here, and then you get the origin of Daredevil, all in one. Yeah, so it's two. Doctor Strange story is a two-parter. It's Strange Tales 110 and 111, and then Daredevil #1. So
Nice.
yeah, no commercials, no nothing. You get to read it all.
Yeah. No frills.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole thing. I mean, you can read the big omnibuses, which I have a bunch of them. Dude, Hulk #1 is also one of my favorite original stories. People just don't understand how damn good the first issue of Hulk is. And I know he's not as strong as he once was, but I mean, holy shit, look at that, dude. Look at that Jack Kirby art. Dude, he jacks this damn car up. But that's not the book we're picked. Oh, they did have an advertisement in here.
For more books from them. And in-house ads don't count, yeah.
Explain to me, if you can, why in the hell are the Marvel Masterworks, which I like Marvel Masterworks, okay?
Why are they so bloody expensive?
They are more expensive in some cases, or damn near as expensive as the omnibuses. And they're smaller, and they don't have as many issues. I mean, the Masterworks are like $75. You know, you put another, you throw another 30 or 40 with it, and you get an omnibus that has 3 times what's in the Masterworks, and the page size is bigger.
Or you can catch a sale and just read it in black and white newsprint in one of the 300 to 500 page reprint things for like $10-15.
Yeah. Yeah, it really depends on what you're going to do. What's your preferred format? I like I sent you the one the other day. I like the Epic collections myself. Mm-hmm. To me, they're the perfect size. I like the omnibuses because they're bigger, but the Epic collection is like the perfect size. They got enough issues in it to read, but they're not so unwieldy that you're gonna throw your back out carrying 2 or 3 of them.
Oh yeah, I can only carry one at a time.
Yeah,
my wrist will give out.
Your wrist will give out. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got a bunch of the omnibuses at this point now that I bought just for whatever, but depends on what you want. Like that Fantastic Four, and I got the Byrne one up there, Fantastic Four. That's ideal for home defense. But did you get anything this week?
I did, but I didn't bring it over here.
What?
Been having some issues.
Oh Lord. Incontinence, it happens at your age.
No, not that.
What are you looking for?
I was trying to update a page and it wasn't working out. So anyhow,
No, Rusty.
Remember I showed you the Horror of the Cryptidnals book, like last year, like the horror book based on like all the Dogman and Lilindra. It's like all based on kind of like Latino monsters.
No, I don't, but I'll take it you showed it to me. Did it come in?
I've had that one. That's been boxed up for like over half a year.
No, Lord.
But it's a group of guys bunch of Mexican guys. Some of them live here in the States and some live over the border, called 656 Comics. And they just did a book called, they do mostly all horror stuff. So it's a horror book called Dead Stop, and it's like an anthology.
Oh, cool.
It's really good. And there were two covers. The cover I picked was Rich Ayala, the guy that draws a lot like the Fritz the Cat style.
Oh, oh Jesus, Crumb.
Yeah, like Crumb.
Yeah, like Crumb.
And he had a book out, and I'm waiting for him to like reprint the book so I can buy a copy of him because he's like local to me.
Yeah.
Get
it signed.
And I will. So he did a book called Roach Balls, and his main character is an evil, a mean old pot smoking roach called Sully. And Sully's awesome. You watch this and you're like, man, this is like a new Fritz the Cat. This is like, heavy metal vibes with, Freak Brothers and Fritz and, all kinds of stuff like that. So he did one of the covers. And of course, the back cover is actually a close up of Sully. And then Sully's also like either on the top of the bus or somewhere around the bus as the bus is like driving, almost mowing people down in the street. So it's pretty gruesome. It's great horror. Do not let your children read this book. Apparently a couple people called up about it. He goes, yeah, what are you sending my kid to read? He goes, I didn't send your kid anything to read. How old's your kid? 12. I go, what's he doing with a credit card? Well, did he use your credit card to buy this book?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
And I'm like, but they're the Cryptidinals, they actually got signed and they've been coming, the big trade has been coming in floppy form in full color in previews. So like the third floppy's coming out like this month. And I'm like, that's cool. Independent guys getting featured in previews. And
previews is lost about everybody else. So
well, yeah, but they still want those ridiculous, numbers. Like, well, you got to have at least 5,000 copies on hand of all your covers and blah 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 blah, and you're only getting this much.
I mean, it is a lot that has changed in the comic industry. I mean, and it's a lot of it's for the good and a lot of it's for the bad. I mean, some of the DC and the Marvel stuff is just regurgitating old stories. They're trying to put spins on stuff, and I some of these people that are writing books now, I literally want to go, did y'all ever read a damn comic book before you started writing them?
Nope.
And a lot of the independent stuff where like Lemire is and Miller and some of the other people, it just Mark Millar or Miller,
Millar,
Millar. They're just so, I do have a new one coming in. It's independent from Titan Comics. It's a war comic, Action Ace, I think it is. It's an anthology. Garth Ennis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's coming in. So I mean, we've got a little bit of the both. You still can get your standard superheroes if you want. Some of the superhero stuff is great. A lot of it isn't. But then you get, it's kind of like you pick up whatever the hell's at the comic book shop, and you can get some independent stuff and really find something you enjoy. I mean, I like Hellboy still. I almost pick up all the Black Hammer stuff. Some of it's
speaking of Hellboy, I got PR in the other day. There are 3 Hellboy audiobooks coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they new books or old books?
No, brand new. It's
So they're
brand
just
new.
doing Hellboy audiobooks.
Hellboy audiobooks.
Okay.
I didn't really look into it or anything. I'm like, I send over to Schmecky and I probably deleted it. I'm like, yeah, that's nice, but I have Amazon. I'd listen to them for free, but I am not going to pay money to sit there and listen to an audiobook because I will get bored, pick up my phone, stop playing a game, and then not know anything that happened after the first 90 seconds.
Well, so that's where you do like I do sometimes. You listen to audiobooks while you're driving.
Hello.
I know. I know. You don't go anywhere. Oh, damn it. But, I mean, I don't know. So you got that, and then you got the damn publishers. You know, Marvel's with Penguin now. Who did DC go with? Because they left previews. Didn't Image leave previews as well?
Image just left previews a couple months ago. Yeah.
Yes, I mean they've lost the three biggest companies in comics no longer in previews.
I think now the magazine section of previews is bigger than the comic book section of previews.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I didn't really get a chance to see any like cool independent stuff on shelves at the LCS I went to forever. That is no longer my LCS. I'm still friends with the family and everything, but you moved into a smaller area, crammed everything from a big, double storefront into like a smaller area, and
that's right. You said you couldn't get into there.
It's not. I can't even get into the store. It's not handicap accessible at all.
It sucks.
He goes, there's a ramp that goes around back that comes right to the back door, but of course they've got everything packed up against the back wall, so you can't get out.
Oh Lord.
And they started doing like a lot of manga, and but they only buy it like on remainder. So they buy like a slew of it on remainder. So they get it for like next to nothing, and whatever sells, and the stuff that doesn't sell, they'll have a sale where everything's $1. If they get water, if they have some that got water damaged, they put them in a big stack. Yeah, all that stuff's free. Take one.
Well, manga's, I don't sound terrible. Manga's damn near the way to go now. I mean, they're outselling comics to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean that
$10 for a 100-page black and white, or almost $10 for a 22-page color floppy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Anyway. All right. So you ready to get into this one? You said you read it today.
I read it today.
I did too. I reread it today. Remember, Daredevil number 164. Remember when we introduced Spider-Man? Now we continue the Mighty Marvel tradition with Daredevil. I do love how this is one giant ad for the other 4 books that they're publishing. Spider-Man, a worthy companion magazine as the fabulous Fantastic Four. And in this issue, you will meet the most unusual hero of all, Matt Murdock, fun-loving Foggy Nelson, and the gorgeous Karen Page. Well, she goes downhill in a couple.
Did you see the video of the actor that's going to be playing Doom?
I didn't know there was an actor that was picked to play Doom.
I believe there is, or it's just like this guy going on a rant. They got rid of all the actors that they had playing the Fantastic Four, like guest appearances, like in the Doctor Strange movie there.
Yeah.
They got rid of all of them, and they're starting with like all new people. But the guy that played the bad guy, they got killed by Tarkin in the Star Wars movie that is the prequel to New Hope.
Okay.
The bad guy that was in like the white admiral suit with the
I know who you're talking about.
the cape. Yeah. He's talking about Doctor Doom, and he goes on this big, like, justifiable rant how Doctor Doom is forever, and starts smack talking the entire FF. He goes, "Give me a break, those flame on people."
Damn it.
I think I posted it in Big John's comic room. But,
I'll have to check it out. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Daredevil #1. This is actually from, I believe, if I remember right, this is from 1964.
Yeah.
Funny thing, the first, like, dude, I think it's the first 10 issues, like the first 10 issues of Daredevil are bi-monthly. So, you know, it almost took 2 years to get the first 10 issues out.
Yep.
At one time, they were going to cancel the book, but then that's when they put Miller on it, and then they decided, no, there's a lot here. We don't need to cancel this book. But
yeah, he brought him back to life, like Neil Adams would tell you that he brought
Batman back.
Well, yeah, he did, but Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, that too. It's actually, we were talking about this in the pre-show before we went on there here. Remember this cover? If you were one of the fortunate persons bought the first copy, you probably wouldn't part with it for anything. It was Spider-Man #1, not Amazing Fantasy 15.
No, it was the first and his own, title. Either or, either of them, like this one that we're reading and ASM #1, guest starring the FF.
Yeah.
Where, they tricked the Amazing Spider-Man into a bug zapper, apparently. And they caught him.
Yeah.
I
mean,
they're right.
It's,
You would, because if you actually bought one of these off the swivel rack and the spinner rack and you got rid of it, since the day you got rid of it, you've been kicking yourself in the culo.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a great book, but thinking about it now, we're talking about it. It's another freaking advertisement for the other books too, because it's, when it come out, there was really only like 3 books: Hulk, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Journey into Mystery, and Strange Tales, like 5 books.
Yeah, because it started Strange Tales, and then they did Tales to Astonish afterwards.
Yeah. But yeah, we congratulate you for having bought another prized first edition of this magazine. It's certain to be one of your most valuable comic mag possessions in the months to come. It's actually still considered by a lot of people the underrated Marvel key.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get a pretty nice copy for $5,000. And I know that sounds stupid, but I've had a chance to get a copy a couple times, but the one time I really should have bought it because it's such a good price.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to spend the money. It was missing, the back cover and a few of the pages, and I was like, I'm just not paying that. And now I kick myself in the ass for it. But written by Stan Lee, illustrated by Bill Everett. So I guess Everett did everything. I mean, he must have did coloring, inking, and lettered by Sam Rosen. Origin of Daredevil. And it starts out, dude, what we did talk about a little bit beforehand, the art in this one is so different than the art in all the other Marvel books at this time that it always has just kind of blown me away. Dude, this is almost like Eisner.
Yeah, somewhere between Eisner and like the EC crime books.
Crime Doesn't Pay. Whatever. Two-Fisted Tales.
Tell that to the president.
Oh my God. But yeah, you're looking at the entrance to Fogwell's Gym, note on New York's Lower West Side. It's here our story begins. So the story opens up at the gym, and in the back there are these four guys. And
yeah, they were upstairs above the gym playing poker.
Yeah, they're playing poker. They're like low rate mobs. Oh yeah, in a dingy room above. They're playing poker, and hey, they some of them want to keep playing, others don't. One guy's like, hey, look, the fixer, I don't move for anybody. They're trying to get him to speed up, and finally, one of the guys like, Sam's right. Hey, I'm bushed. We're gonna knock off, and then they hear like a creak. For the love of Pete, what's all that? Yeah, and then they turn around, and then there's our hero, Daredevil.
The Creeper. Oh, sorry.
Damn it. You're in the wrong.
It's almost, I'm in the wrong universe. I can't tell. Everybody's doing multiverse movies. So it's almost as ugly as Creeper's costume.
It is. It is.
It's like Jack Ryder said, Matt, I know you can't see. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'll sew something together for you.
The thing that's bad is, and I know you've probably read it. You remember Daredevil Yellow by Tim Sale?
Yes, I have the hardcover signed by Tim Sale.
Okay, it's a great story.
Oh,
but
it's amazing.
It's amazing. But when he draws it, I mean, it's like he does his best to make the costume even uglier.
Yep.
Like, Jesus, man. I mean, what the hell are these? Oh my God. What the hell are these freaking red buttons on the damn gloves?
They were extra from the shirt until he sewed another shirt on it.
Is that what it is?
It must be.
But so yeah, he shows up and the mobsters kind of laugh at him. They're like, man, hey buddy, we're a boxing place. We don't use costume wrestlers. I have seen nutty get-ups, but that's that takes the cake. And then one guy's like, but look at his build. Hey, maybe the fixer could use him. He's like, so he's pretty jacked. Hey.
And you hear the nickname the fixer, you go, I wonder what this criminal does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like right away, just because of knowing the history, he's the guy. Unlike the TV series, it wasn't Kingpin.
Yeah.
It was the fixer.
Yeah, basically a random low-level thug.
Yeah. And then one of the other guys goes, man, are you Portuguese or something? Because those colors just don't go.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. He says, so yeah, you hanging around for trouble? And he says, I intend to. When I'm through with the fixer, he'll never be able to use anyone again. So, they're like, hey, he's some kind of nut. Toss him out of here. So they, the muscle here, I guess he's a boxer or a wrestler or something that's, playing cards with them. He heads to go take out Daredevil and it's like,
gets monkey flipped.
Yeah, he gets monkey flips. If it's exercise you want, Fatso, you come to the right guy. And he swings his ass into the other guys. Ugh. And Mister, you just bought yourself a heck of trouble when you grabbed that gun. And now he throws his billy club, knocks the damn gun out of his hands. And he just keeps jumping. Reading it earlier, dude, look at how big his feet are. He's got to be like wearing like size 18s or something. They're honking.
Mm.
This is why Daredevil is such a hit with the ladies.
They don't know. Why do you have your billy club with you? That's not my billy club.
Exactly. Yeah. You punk, I'll fix it so you never make another wise. And this is kind of the whole Spider-Man, but not as bad. Because, in the early Daredevil issues, that he cracks all these jokes and everything else. He's more like a Spider-Man light. I've heard him referred to as poor man Spider-Man, but I don't know. I always loved the character. Surround him. He can't knock us all off. In fact, I know better. And he just beats the living hell out of all these guys. He's got all this athletic equipment around. He swings on and knocks them down. So then, Okay, mister, we've had it. Who are you? What do you want? If it ain't possible, nobody can fight like that. Playtime's over. I'll find the fixture. As for who I am, just call me Daredevil. That top page, that's something that I've seen done later. I don't know if I've ever seen it done this early. In some of the old horror books, maybe, but in a superhero book, I don't think I've seen that in some.
Where they split like a full panel.
Yeah, it's a full panel, but they've split it. And the only thing I can do, the split to me is everything is happening in the same space, but Daredevil talks after the other people. So the split shows the time difference, if that makes any sense. And then now so we've already introduced to the character. We've seen him. He's beat up some people. So we know he's the new superhero and the star of the book. And then we get Daredevil, brand new name, world superhero. So here starts our origin. The year's 1950 as the prize fighter known as Battling Murdoch talks to his 8-year-old son, Matthew. I don't want to study, Dad. I want to go out and play ball with the other kids. No, Matt, you'll do it now. You'll study every chance you get here. I promised your mother before she died that I wouldn't let you grow up to be an uneducated pug like me. You're going to amount to something, Matt. So his dad is forcing him to study hard and really put his nose to the grindstone.
Yep.
Because he wants something better for his kid. Now, the other thing me and you were talking is earlier. So this is 1950. The book is 64. He's 8 there. So he's 22 in this scene.
In the first issue, he's already
22.
In the
first issue we're reading, he's 22. Yeah.
And he's only aged about 5 years since then.
I think a little bit more than that, but yeah, it's not much.
No.
Yeah. I promised your mother before she died I wouldn't let you grow up to be like me. And he tells him, he says, but I want to be proud. You're one of the greatest. He says, don't. And his dad is, an aging prize fighter. So he knows, he says, I'm past my, prime. I'm just a punching bag now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to study. You're going to be a lawyer or a doctor. You'll be somebody. Go back to your room, get back with, study for your mom. Now, I can't remember why his mom left. We'd have to go back and read Born Again, where she shows up finally. But yeah, as the years roll by, Matt Murdock does his best to live up to his father's dream, becomes a top student. So while everybody else is playing football and baseball and wrestling and everything else, he keeps hammering the books because it's what his dad wants. And he kind of gives up his childhood to try and make his dad proud. And all the while the kids are, and this is true, no one can be as cruel and unthinking as the youth. They start calling him Daredevil and making fun of him. And he just finally gets so mad. One day he takes a damn punch with all his anger at his dad's speed bag and knocks it off the freaking rack. And he's like, whoa, hey, I knocked the bag off. And he fixes it. And then he starts, hey, what a numbskull. I don't need to do this every day. I'll just use it to keep in shape. So from that point on, he just is a natural athlete. So he starts working out and studying at the same time. So, I mean, his whole life is workout, study, workout, study, workout. And, all the time, his dad's just looking on while he's in and out of school or in and out of the, the house, traveling the circuit. He says, I know it's been tough for you while the other kids are playing and having good times, but one day you'll thank me. God, how many times do your parents ever tell you that? One day you'll thank me. You're going to amount to something just the way your mother wanted you to. And, the only thing is his dad never lets him know he can't even get any damn boxing matches right now because he's so old and kind of washed up that no one will manage him. So in an act of desperation, he goes to see the Fixer, the guy that Daredevil's trying to find in our issue. I swore I'd never, I'd stay clear of his reputation, but I got to have a fight. And of course he meets the Fixer and he says, yeah, we find out that 10 years ago, Murdoch threw his ass out of his dressing room when he was offered a deal by the Fixer. He says, sure, I'll get you some fights and you don't have to worry. You don't have to take a dive just because I'm really soft-hearted fool. Sign this contract. So he does. He signs the contract, gets some money, and he heads back to tell his son, hey, look, I got money. We're okay. I'm going to do everything I can to get you in college. Wow. Across town, this is the super famous Daredevil Matt Murdock sees an old man who's blind trying to cross the road, who apparently is deaf too because he don't hear him when he calls him. And this truck is heading through, and he's like slams on the brakes. Someone's crossing in front of us. Something's wrong. So the brakes have messed up. And this is from Ajax Atomic Labs, radioactive materials, danger.
Danger. So you knew right away, here's the truck that's going to kill Matt.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. So Matt heads, he leaps into action and knocks the old man out of the way. And he saved that man's life. It's the most heroic act. But a cylinder falls from the truck and it struck his face. Is it something radioactive? Don't stand there. Call the ambulance. And they call the ambulance. And then, sure enough, it was radioactive. So it has blinded him. Your son.
It's like what was it at this time? The 40s.
What, this?
Yeah, the 40s or 50s.
This would have been the mid-50s.
Mid-50s. And why are people standing around like they got iPhones filming this for YouTube?
Yeah.
And not calling? Look, there were payphones on the street.
Yeah,
you could just call the operator. It's an emergency. We need the police and rescue.
Yeah, just run over there and get it. Yeah. 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 So later at the hospital, your son is very brave. You must try. And she's like, you got to try and be equally brave in the days ahead. If only it happened to me. If only I'd been there. And then Murdoch is, Matt's really trying to be as positive as he can. And this is pretty crappy. It could be worse. Even if I lose my sight, at least I'm alive. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. Finally, he comes home and he's like, hey, I can still keep up on my, my schoolwork and everything. I can use Braille books. I can learn Braille. I'll get my diploma, Dad. And, good news, So now I didn't remember this part. His dad tells him, good news. The doctors report that an operation may restore your sight in a few years after the tissues have healed. Does he ever have the operation?
Apparently not.
Maybe. But in the days that follow, Murdoch studies more than the written word. He begins still more extensive training physical program. And we look at, even blind, he's able to leap around and everything. And he's like, it's as though nature has made all of my sensors far more powerful to compensate for my blindness. I wonder, could the radioactive elements which struck my eyes have anything to do with it? My increased power, stranger things have been known to happen. And then now we get to this. I didn't remember this either. So later on, we get the explanation here. Foggy's telling him, he says, man, I studied like a dog and you just breeze through. He says, Mom, my dad made me study. So when I was younger, it's just easy. And Matt even says, I wouldn't be surprised if the radiation I absorbed in the accident doesn't have something to do with it too. Everything seems easy. All my senses are razor sharp. He says, his hearing
gave him a photographic memory.
Yep.
He can't see the pictures.
Damn it. Yeah. My hearing is so acute, I can tell if someone's in the room by their heartbeat. I never forget an odor smell. Once I smell it, I can recognize any girl by her perfume or man by his hair tonic. Even my fingers have become incredibly sensitive. I can tell how many bullets are in a gun just by the weight of the barrel. Not only that, he says later on, he can actually read the printed word on pages. He can read the ink.
The indentation of the ink on the paper.
Yeah, on the paper. Yeah. And my taste has become so highly developed that I can tell exactly how many grains of salt are on a pretzel. that's a lot.
That's some Rain Man shit right there.
Rain Man shit. Yep.
And I'm like, I can follow somebody just by their scent. I can tell who they are. I'm like, here, Matt, pull my finger.
Damn it. Good Lord. Yeah.
He knocked out Daredevil. How? I farted.
He farted. It'd be like when they hit him with the damn one of the concussion grenades. Ah!
Whoops, a buttercup biscuits.
My nose. But my most important ability is a form of built-in radar that I've developed so I can walk anywhere without safely bumping into things. Thank God they fixed this a little later because it looks like he's just walking. It's like, ping, he turns like one of them damn Roomba robots. Boom, boom, boom.
Worse. It's like the Target at the carnival walking back and forth. Bing, 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 bing.
Damn it. So, and the guys are like, hey, you want some help cross the street? No, I can cross the street. I can see better than you. So meanwhile, the career of battling Murdoch takes a surprising turn. Here's your dough, Murdoch. Keep it up. You may be champ someday. I can't believe it. It all seems like some kind of miracle. So, yeah, we find out that battling Murdoch's winning streak isn't a miracle. Wait till the old fool finds out all his fights were set up. She paid his opponents to take a dive. Sure I did. Give it to Murdoch. He's going to build up a big draw. And then in the next fight, he's going to throw it. And I'm going to make him get the count. So he's built Murdoch up to be this up and coming, like, going to fight for the heavyweight. And then he wants him to take a damn dive.
Well, mix it at best. It's a dirty business, Rock.
Yeah. Damn it. So a few days before the Murdoch's last fight, here comes Foggy. Hey, wait, I got to read the supports headline for you about your dad. But, here's Foggy. I can hear by his weight, his fat ass running in the distance.
Yeah, it was like, how can we call Foggy fat in a very nice way? It's his first appearance. We don't want to rip into him too much.
Yeah. By the weight, the distance between the steps. Oh, my God. He's fighting Dynamite Davis tomorrow. Look at in New York. How about we want to go? And, of course, Matt's already managed to get tickets. But, I mean, that makes sense because this is his dad's big fight. It's his chance. He doesn't think that, and this isn't like the this isn't like the heavyweight champs. We see Davis on the headline is the number 2 contender. So this is like right before he gets to the champ. If he wins, he would go on to fight the champ. So, here's where he says, I read the headline.
Wins and lives.
If he wins and lives, yeah. I read the headline before, just running my finger over the page and feeling the impressions of the ink. So that night they show up at the at the boxing ring, and the fixer said I have to take a dive in the first round, and in this corner the middle-aged sensation battling Murdoch, but my boys are here tonight, and I want him to root for his dad. I've always trained him to do his best. I can't disappoint him. So even though he knows he's supposed to take a damn dive, because Matt's in the freaking ring or in the arena with Foggy, he's not. And he does his best. And his best is good enough to beat the number 2 contender. So he legit beats the number 2 contender and could go on to be, fight for the heavyweight. Call it a miracle, call it sheer force of power, determination, whatever you want. The winner battling Murdoch. And of course he meets, Matt and Foggy, I wanted you to be, and he's like, I wanted you to be proud of me. And he is. But that night, back in the seat of the dark sedan, quietly pulls away. Nobody double crosses the fixer. You know what to do, Slade? Yeah, boss. I know what to do. So Slade has been sent to go kill Matt's dad. Jack. And he does. I mean, after the boxing match, he's heading back to the apartment and he freaking shoots him in the middle of the night. Madeline Jack Murdoch
at the gym, walks home late, and
that's it.
Crack.
Yeah, he's gone. Somebody must have been awfully sore about his victory. We're not going to rest until we find who. Nothing can be too late. It's too late for him. And of course, Matt's really upset because, his dad's died. It was kind of his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, Foggy actually helps him. You got to snap out of it. You got to finish the stuff that your dad wanted you to do. And he does. So he finishes the damn, he finishes college. He graduates. He's valedictorian. He's, going to be Foggy's law partner. Now.
This I don't remember. Of Foggy's dad being rich.
Yeah, I don't remember his dad being rich. But the other thing is, too, is Foggy's his friend. But Foggy's also like, he's like, here it is, he's going to be my partner. Can I pick him? It's almost like he's trying to ride on Matt's coattails. He can see greatness there. And, I'm going to get the financing and not really have to work, but I'll help rake in the money.
Mm-hmm.
And he
I'll
does.
count it.
Yeah, we're in business with your brains and my dad's money. Nothing can stop us. Come on and meet the secretary I hired, and it's Karen Page.
Oh, that's just.
I hope you'll. Yeah, my name's Karen Page. I hope you'll be pleased with me. Well, it depends, baby. Maybe until you go into porno movies.
Mm-hmm.
And smack. Her voice is like music from the sound. She's 5. She's 5. He could tell how tall she is by how she sounds. 5'4", young, and I know she's lovely.
She's very luscious.
Yeah. And of course, he rents an apartment not far from the damn law office, and he can't concentrate on anything because he's got to find out what happened to his dad. So, I can, can't break my promise to Dad. So I'm going to kind of fib to my promise on Dad by instead of going out and fighting, I'm going to dress up as somebody and go out and fight. And he, he has to make his own costume. So he makes it out of the old, his dad's old boxing outfits. All I need are some old shirts that I can stitch together. I'm no Betsy Ross, but I should be able. And then now this is a little weird. I can even blend the colors for a different color fabric has a different feel to me. So he's claiming that his sense of touch is so good he can tell how different colors on different fabrics feel.
What color the costume was dyed.
Yeah, that's a little far-fetched, but hey, it's a superhero comic book, so we're gonna go with it. That still doesn't explain the fact that you have no taste in putting this damn thing together, Matt. Yeah, it does take him a couple hours. A few hours later, when I don this costume, no longer my Matt Murdock. I need a new name. And of course, he remembers the name the kids called him. What was that? Daredevil. They call me. That'll be perfect. So he puts one big old D on it. And then we find out he's made it, spandex like every other superhero. It's tight enough he can wear under his clothes, and he just has the headpiece. And even though I don't need my cane, I'll need it as Matt Murdock. So I'll turn it into a weapon. And he says, his dexterity is such that he is able to like hinge it and make a little billy club out of it and, flex it and all this. And, it's perfect. I can use it in 100 different ways. So now he practices with his billy club. And now where to begin? So he heads to the gym to see what goes on. And then once he gets to the gym, now we're back to where we are. So President, how do now do you take me to the fixture? Nothing. He'll be here. So somebody asking for me, what do you want? Dig his clothes. Looks like he wants trouble, fixer. My associates don't like your looks. So he can hear, he can hear that the fixer's kind of big. And he hears the other guys coming around on him. So when he does, he actually hears, I want to know the arrangement you have with Battling Murdoch. So he says, Battling Murdoch, what's that to you? It ain't healthy to mention him. He must know something, boss. I'll take care of him. And then he's like, the sound of his suit being drawn aside, fingers touching a metal object. It's got to be a gun butt in the holster. And he zeroes in on his breathing and knocks the gun out. Almost inaudible sound. My cane cuts to the air. Is right. So he, his senses are really helping him. This other dude tries to sneak up on him. He knocks the hell out of him, and he tries to run away after he knocks the gun away from him, and he catches him with the damn hook, pulls him down. And they're like, oh my God, how are you doing it? This is kind of cool now. See, we don't have no cell phone. If he'd had a cell phone, maybe this wouldn't happen. You're in trouble. So the fixer's like, hey, I know I'm a criminal and everything, but call the police. Have them get this loser out of here. So when the guy picks up the phone, hey, the sound picking up a receiver, it's too easy. He throws his billy club, knocks the damn phone out of his hand. He says, I suspect you're responsible for the death of Battling Murdoch. Why don't you confess and save us all the trouble? You're nuts. I had nothing to do with it. This is where you're talking about. I have another power I wasn't even aware of. I can hear the pulse rate speeding up, indicating he's lying. My super sense is acting like a built-in lie detector test, which is cool because that's really cool. Maybe you do have an alibi, but if it wasn't your finger that squeezed the trigger, but you gave the order, stay back, stop him. And Daredevil's so busy, like, messing with the fixer that he doesn't hear Slade sneak up behind him and push his ass out the window. Of course, they're only on, like, the second or third floor. But a normal man would, be doomed because they're on the second or third floor. And he hears a flagpole flapping, hooks around it, and swings back up. Now, right back where we are. Of course, now our story flips back to Foggy as he's heading out to see where Matt is. And he gets to Matt's house, and I guess the crime rate in New York at this time was pretty low because the door's left wide the hell open.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in, and he's like, he's not there. I hate to have him walking all around town. He's blind and all. So he heads to him. He gets back to the office. Did you catch this? I'll go up to the office. Maybe he decided to come get familiar with the place before starting work. But entering the new office, Foggy finds it unoccupied except for the most decorative accessory.
You ain't wrong.
So, yeah. Karen, it's your day off. Yeah, I know. But,
I hired her as my accessory, not yours, Matt.
Exactly. Dude, they had the love triangle for so long. No matter, I hoped he'd be here. And she's like...
She's all wishy-washy all over him already.
Yeah, it's just a pity. Such a wonderful, handsome man is so handicapped. And Foggy's like, God, I'd love her to talk about me like that. Don't let his blindness fool you. He's still the smartest, most capable guy I know of. There's something about him that makes a girl want to just take him in her arms and, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson. I have no right to speak that way. Meanwhile, he's beating the hell out of these thugs at the boxing ring.
And Foggy has gone into his office to beat something else.
Yeah. Out of the way. Just me and the fixer. So you two, I've learned what I wanted. Slade actually did the shooting, but you gave the order. That'll do you no good. You can't prove it. Where's your evidence? And of course, he's, goes to pull out his billy club when the fixer literally pulls the rug out from underneath him and he falls.
And hurts his wrist.
Yeah, he hurts his wrist. Him and Slade are like hauling ass, and they get lost in the damn crowd, but Matt changes into clothes and gets out there, and he can still smell the fixer's cigar. So he's just following them. And they, of course, they don't
smell
see.
of a grown man's cigar.
Yeah. Guess you're right. No one, but that blind guy is the only person behind us. Come on, we'll duck in that subway station across the street. Get off at Penn Station. We'll be out of town in an hour. And of course, Matt's like, that's what they think. And then, like, hey, did you see how fast that blind guy pushed past us? Who cares? We got our own problems. So he runs right past them. It doesn't tip him off for anything.
He leads you to believe.
Yeah. Unbeknownst, their problems are just beginning. Going somewhere and of course they get in a big fight. And then they split up. So the Fixer goes one way, Slade goes the other one, and Daredevil's like, okay, Slade's in better shape. I'm gonna knock the hell out of him. So he throws his billy club at him, and the Fixer's like, good, he's taking Slade. That means I'll escape. Slade like crashes into the damn, the ground. I guess knocks himself out. And for some stupid ass reason, Daredevil knocks over this round ass trash can that's perfectly round and uses it to roll at the Fixer. He's like, he's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. And at that second, the beefy, overweight, fear-filled figure of the Fixer grasps, slumps to the ground, and his panic-stricken heart ceases to beat. My heart, I can't breathe. Oh. And then Daredevil's like, oh, no pulse, no heartbeat. Seems like a heart attack will save the state the expense of a trial.
And that's why, as a fat guy, I don't run, I just reload.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's like, but the whole thing, his death will save the state the expense of a trial. I mean, he didn't necessarily do it. He had it done, but he didn't kill your dad. But you made sure that his ass died of a heart attack in your first issue. It's like Batman.
It gets
people.
even worse.
Yeah, killing people. Yeah. Transit police, just what the doctor ordered. Follow me, boys. I got a little job for you. And of course, he shows up. Stay where you want. The Fixer just told me he lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fixer told me.
He's a lawyer. Of course he lies.
Damn it. Yeah. Tell me he's innocent. You're in Murdoch's murder. You dirty crumb. You're not going to wiggle out of this. So he admits to shooting him. And the guy, Daredevil's like, enough? Did you hear enough? Yeah. Yeah, we sure did. Wait, who are you? Their name's Daredevil. Remember it. So I don't even know if that confession can be used in a court of trial. In a legal court, but they got it. So he heads back.
Well, neither could, not that he had one on him, but earlier in the issue, he's convinced the now dead fat guy and his hitman, that he has a miniaturized tape recorder in his pocket.
Yes.
I'm like, that's not admissible anymore either.
No.
Back then it was, because where they get the term railroading from.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Matt shows up. Well, you know me, I can't get around like I used to.
Yeah, I'm not as fast. Yeah. Well, we just had a call, Mr. Murdoch. Oh yeah, this is the worst part. We just had a call. An accused murderer named Slade. He wanted to know if we want to defend him, but I turned him down. From the police report, I was convinced he's guilty. I hope you don't mind. Mind? No, I don't mind at all. Not a bit. Not one single bit.
Because everything's paid for by Foggy's dad at this point.
Yeah, Dad, wherever you are, you can kind of rest in peace, and don't waste your minute. Don't waste a minute. We can't wait to hear what you think of Daredevil. Send our letters to Stan Lee, 3rd floor, Madison Avenue. Remember, just beginning, we scratched subtly in his second issue when he faces his first supervillain. Don't miss it.
Is that the Owl?
No, Owl's issue 3. Owl's okay. Yeah, second issue is he has to actually borrow some supervillains from Spider-Man. Second issue is him versus Electro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Electro's in the second issue of Daredevil, and
it's because they wear the same colors, right?
I don't know. And the Thing is in it as well. The Thing is also in it.
Well, we got to keep putting the guest stars in it, because this was one of the first books that they put out, and it wasn't long. It wasn't a long distance of time between Timely Comics and Stan and the boss coming up with Marvel Comics, because the first book he did that guy did for Timely was called Marvel Comics.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah, and that's a hot item right there.
The other thing that's funny is if you look at it this time, because this is an early book, when they talk about the whole, because DC didn't have the connected universe until, 10, 15 years after they started publishing.
Yeah.
And Marvel, from pretty much from day one, it was a connected universe. And if you read some of the old, like the histories of Marvel comics and stuff, Kirby actually kept flashcards with all the appearances and notes about each issue, so that if you were going to do something or had an idea, you could thumb through the flashcards and do it. And that kept going on up until like the late 60s. And at that point, when they had so many books coming out, they said it was almost impossible. And, but they still did their best to try and remember everything.
Yeah, it went from this takes place before issue blah, 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 of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It went from that to like the editor's notes.
Yes.
And because there were so many guys that were like so good at it because they would actually read all the books that were coming out for the company, so they could keep up with storylines in case they had to jump in on one and try not to screw it up.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I mean, it's the connected universe thing, especially in the early Marvel, is so good to me because it shows the whole, not only are they building the characters, but they're building the world, and then these people interact with each other. I mean, you got Daredevil's like 22, Spider-Man is here. He's been in action a couple years before Daredevil shows up, so he's probably like 18, at best, because I think, didn't Spider-Man get his powers at like 16 or something?
Yeah, like 15, 16.
Yeah, so I mean, he's like 18 when Daredevil shows up. The old people are really the Fantastic Four, and they're not that old. I mean, think, like Ben Grimm and Reed are probably in their, late 20s, early 30s.
Yep.
And
although Reed showed up to the party with gray temples, so
yeah, it happens. He's prematurely gray. And I think Johnny's younger, the youngest one. He's he's like 20, maybe 22, something. Daredevil's age, and then freaking Sue's probably like 20. What's it, 25, 26? She's a couple of years older than him. I mean, so I just like the connectivity. It's all
plus they did everything in New York.
Everything in New York. Yeah, no made up cities.
It wasn't like pretend cities, and then you got to go through and depending on who tells the story on the DC side, where Metropolis, as we know, is basically New York City.
Yeah.
Or Boston, either, somewhere between New York and Boston. And Chicago is Gotham.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Chicago is really Gotham. 50 people shot last week in Chicago.
Really?
10 dead, yeah.
Oh my God. But no, I don't know. So how many first issues of Marvel have you actually read? Where would you put this one? Since we don't do this one, we usually don't do first issues. We've tried not to. And the only reason I thought of doing this one this week, because we were talking about the old guys, and we talked about Everett, and Everett, who created the Submariner, doesn't get enough love.
Yeah. Not so much first appearances, but first issues. Obviously, now I've read this one. I've read the reprint of Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah. Then that's in like half a story, too. That's only like
it's only a few pages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like in DC, like Toys R Us was giving away like these free like newspaper pamphlets with like the first appearance of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Which is like 6 to 8 pages, all of them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, because it was still, Detective Comics. So it was Detective Comics featuring Batman. So there was a Batman story to lead off. And then there was other stuff in the back that you may or may not give a damn about.
I think we read the first Mr. Freeze, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have I read? Hulk #1, of course. I don't have the original, of course, but
I don't.
and there were other series like Bronze and Copper Age that I read, like one that I'd like to get my hands on, like a run of, because it was such a cool concept, was the fact that Marvel had a Suicide Squad before DC called Strike Force Morituri.
Really?
Yep. And like FF, they had they had their tagline on the cover, "World's Greatest Comic Magazine," and Strike Force Morituri was, "For those about to die, we salute you."
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Sci-fi, sci-fi comic book series published by Marvel from 86 to 89.
It was really good. It was probably one of the best, non-main title books that they had out at that time, I think.
Science fiction book from 86 to 89, series created by Peter B. Gillis and artist Brett Anderson. Aliens have invaded Earth and succeeded in conquering and stripping away of the resources. Scientists discover a process to provide superhuman powers, effectively creating a group of defending superheroes. Process also ensure that superpower humans would die within a year of being empowered. Oh, dude, that sucks balls. Holy crap.
It does, but...
So they're like, we're going to save the world, but we're all going to die.
You'll get a year to do it, and then you're going to be dead. It's like, oh, damn.
The series focuses on the heroism of the main characters fighting the invaders while living with the knowledge their fates were sealed regardless of whether or not they prevailed. Yeah, that does sound pretty damn good. That's pretty... Woo.
Two things to keep an eye out for in your comic book service for... 2 omnibuses. Now that I've almost got full runs of each of them, one more than the other.
Oh God!
Marvel is putting out the ROM omnibus this year.
I saw ROM,
and they're also putting out the Micronauts omnibus.
I did not see the Micronauts.
And there are different covers. There's like they're doing the typical Marvel thing. Well, we're going to put them out with like 19 different covers. And I'm like, no, you morons. They put out an omnibus for the Planet of the Apes, but it's still too damn expensive because it's only 11 issues.
That's it? That's all Planet of the Apes ran?
It only ran 11 issues. When the cartoon went that season where they did the animated cartoon, which was really cool. I thought it was like the coolest thing. It was better than the Super Friends. It was Planet of the Apes. Come on. That and Battlestar Galactica only went 20 issues. But if you try to buy a full run of Battlestar Galactica off anybody, you might as well just get it in an omnibus because that's what it's going to cost you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, some of those.
So it was like multiple covers and different like collector's edition tiers, But those are ones that I really like to have up on the shelf. At which point, I will keep my my ROM #1. I would sell off all the rest of them, and with Micronauts, I would just if my #1 from Micronauts is in good enough condition, which I don't think it is.
How much is a #1 Micronauts?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember. I think I paid like $15 for mine. Let's see.
So I'm going to show you this too because I cannot remember if I sent you this. I picked up a book recently that it's an out of date book, but it's a Star Trek guide to collectibles for trekkers or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You showed me the book. Yeah.
And there are some stuff in here I have never freaking seen. And they did. Now you can show it now. There you go. I pulled this off eBay.
Oh, there it is.
Have you ever seen these posters? They're like 25th anniversary Star Trek Binky post. They're by Binky, I think it says. They're 27 by 40. They're damn near life size.
Yeah, I have seen these posters. When you DM'd me and showed me these 3 posters, and then you showed me the Sienkiewicz poster. You go, hey, it's a cool Star Trek Sienkiewicz poster. Too bad it's $400 friggin' dollars. I'm like, it looked like something that came on the inside of a cereal box.
Okay, look, I'm old. I
we
couldn't.
both are.
Dude, these are they only did 3 of them though. They did a Kirk, a Spock, and Bones. So I don't know, but yes, the Sienkiewicz poster was cool too. No, it wasn't Sienkiewicz. It was Steranko.
Yes, Steranko.
Steranko.
Captain Hardon. Micronauts 1979 first series. Graded at a 9.8 on mycomicshop.com, is just about $200.
We got to be able to get one cheaper than that.
It's like view scans. There's 4 bids on one that's graded at 9.0. And the current bid is only $16 on it. There's another one that is $160, 9.8, paper white, newsstand edition. Is cheaper than, the one that's like $200. It says $195 of best offer. There's scans in there. Paper white. It's got the label number from CGC. It's consignment, 3% buyer's premium charged at checkout.
Yeah, and here's your an ungraded. Here's you an ungraded on eBay, like new, white, looks pristine white. Oh shit, dude! Yeah, they're saying this is 9.0 Whitman variant for $27. Buy it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just buy it. It'd be cheaper for you to buy it and have it graded yourself.
Yeah, because they've got one that's like wicked expensive. They want like $631 for it. It's CBCS yellow label, authentic signature witness sigs of Al Milgrom and Joe Rubinstein on back in 2019, and Michael Golden a couple of months afterwards. It's a newsstand edition with triple sigs on it.
Yeah, here's a 9.8, number 898 they got on here for $375. Oh, I sent you this one, the number 7 with the man thing on it, didn't I? Yeah.
Now I want to show you something. Yes, it's a crowdfunding indie book.
Oh, okay.
But it's right up your alley.
Uh-oh.
It's from like the Fourth Age.
The Fourth Age.
In the spirit of Mr. Howard there, or Howard E.
Yeah.
Crom the Destroyer. Here's the trailer for it.
An age ago, the beating heart of our people was a king who knew only victory. He wanted nothing more than an honorable death on the battlefield. Yet, none could match him, and so he wandered the earth, becoming lost in time and tide. Then we too lost our honest purpose while silk-clad men sat upon the throne. But tremble now, all cities that lay under the stars, for out of the shadows and mists of the land of promise, our courage has been rekindled, our heart has returned, and the world will burn.
Art looks pretty good.
Oh yeah.
That's nice. So basically Conan, but they're gonna call him Crom.
Yeah, so Crom the Destroyer. When a king who knows only victory meets an enemy beyond comprehension, the Battle of Wills begins. R.J. Shaw wrote this. And it is a 66-page spectacular fantasy story that is available as both a full-color, square-bound graphic novel with the measurements and as a black and white magazine.
I'd order the black and white magazine.
Yeah. The book is a return to the basics of low fantasy in the style of Robert E. Howard and showcases the art of Jim O'Reilly, who's amazing, Nick Axe, informal Marvel and DC artist Michael Gustovich. He's the one that did like the main one. It is intended for all ages with some blood within the battle scenes. Also available in the campaign are several pinup posters, 2 oversized cards, and a cloth map of the land.
Oh, cool.
Check it all out, plus our 11-page preview book below. So the 11-page preview book is done by Jim O'Reilly, and that, I think, is all black and white, but I'm not sure. It'll probably end up being in color. But here's like the cover, one of the covers at least. I think there's only one cover. That's the cover by Nick Axe. And here's what the interiors look like. It's not the final lettering. You know, they might edit the story and stuff some, but
yeah.
I mean, that looks badass.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely got the Conan vibe.
This is one of the cards, like an oversized collector's card.
Yeah. Oh, like the big 5x7 ones?
Yeah.
Or yeah, 7x10. Those a little bigger than that. Yeah, he frags that dude.
And then there's her.
Yeah.
Demon Lance. That's Jim O'Reilly art right there.
Harpies.
Yep.
There's your that's the Frost Giant's daughter.
Yep. And then there's an actual illustrated prose like story. Morning Light additional Crom print story by R.J. Shaw. And here's some of the black and white art.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not inked yet, but yeah.
You can read the full prose story. Order the Morning Light perk above. I mean, like, great line art though.
Oh yeah, like the line art is great. And a lot of good movement.
The Perks, 66-page graphic novel in 3 chapters, with one continuous story, black and white one.
So I guess all 3 guys are doing a different chapter.
Yeah. 4 pinup posters, 2 oversized cards, 1 print story, further exploring the world of Crom the Destroyer with 2 illustrations, a cloth map of the world of Crom the Destroyer, issues of Anvil Iron Age #2, including the Morning Light story, and signed by R.J. Shaw. So he's got like another story in there, much like the Crom story. Some ink stuff. Stretch goals. 5K, you get a 4th age logo sticker. 10K is Crom the Destroyer logo sticker. 20 4th age preview pages printed in all books. 40 page 1 of Crom the Destroyer as a pinup poster. 50 is a new Crom print story included in all books. It's 60 additional 2 pages of story added. 70 4 pages of story added. And when it gets close to 80, he wants backers to make suggestions.
Yeah, we're running out of ideas, people.
Yeah. So, well, they gotta get up that high.
Yeah.
So here's just like the main book is $25. It's like a 66-page graphic novel, which is, if you buy like a Marvel reprint, like, done well, where it's like, a lot of times it's like up to like four issues.
Yeah.
So like close to 80 pages, and they're all like $25.
Yeah. So
This I like.
the price isn't crazy.
Yeah. You get Crom, and then you get this King's Army pinup poster. So this is basically like an Uncle Sam, we want you.
Yeah.
It says, join the King's Army today. Treasure and honorable death await you in the borderlands. That's almost as bad as Strike Force Morituri, but, I'll take it. Here's the 3 pinups, which are like those earlier pages. There's the 2 cards.
I like the cards. The cards are cool.
And this will give you the Morning Light story. So you get the book and the Morning Light story. So that's like only like 32. Crom in both oversized cards, 32. Crom in all 3 pinup posters, 35. Here's the one. Crom in the cloth map. The cloth map is like, this is going to be this just launched tonight. It was playing on Bancross, and I go, I want to check this out. This is like stuff that we like. So
5 have already claimed that.
Yeah, so 5 people have already bought this. Then there's the graphic novel and the black and white magazine.
Damn it now. Okay, so now I thought we could get a black and white magazine by itself, but okay. So
you can, but this is like if you want one of each.
Okay.
Or you can buy like 2 Crom, 2 of the regular book for $45. It saves you like $5.
Yeah.
Or 2 of the magazines for $45. This is Crom in the Anvil Iron Age 2 magazine, which has another Crom story. It says it right in here. Magazine that includes Crom story, Morning Light, and it's signed by the writer.
Sweet.
So that's $50. That's not bad.
No.
And then there's a full bundle. I wish the knife came with it. If the knife comes with it, So the full bundle is $100, and it's already been claimed by 4 people. Everything in this campaign: Crom graphic novel, magazine, 4 posters, 2 oversized card, the map, Morning Light print story, So everything for like $100. 4 people got that, and then there's these last 2 were just like retailer tiers.
Yeah, retailer extended. Yeah, retailer exclusives.
Yeah, it's not an exclusive. It's just there's one cover on the book. So
yeah,
but they can get like 5 copies to put in the store for like $100. Or 5 of the magazines
for $100.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's really nice. Damn.
that's really going in.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is
I mean, the sword, the hair.
Did you get a chance to look at the Conan, the new stuff that's coming out from Titan?
No.
Okay, I'm telling you. Like I said,
I think I found the website and looked at it and then like forgot all about it because I'm like, I'm pretty much broke, and I'll tell you why when you go up here.
but yeah, I mean, it's also it looks just like freaking Bushima. I mean, it's amazing. I'm excited for it. But all right, well, I guess that's about it. We got an hour and a half today.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is it? That's the comments. Where's the? Oh, there it is. Is the private chat. That's the link for that campaign if you want to take a further look at it.
Yeah, I'll open it in another window. But did you decide what you want to read next week?
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Damn.
Don't make me don't make me read X-Men 148 next week.
You want to read X-Men 148 next week?
Or 143, excuse me.
Whatever
You
the
can.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, dude, I've been wanting to read that sucker for a long time. All right, then, Will.
So we'll do that next week, and hopefully back on our regular day.
Yep.
If not, we'll make it work.
We're working on it. So, y'all read some comics.
Peace.